Hi everyone, welcome to episode 2 of the Visibility Sessions. And I'm Dina Behrman, PR expert, and today I am joined by Georgia Varjas, who is a book writing coach and a 4 times published author. Welcome.
Great to be with you today, Dina. Really nice. Been looking forward to it.
Yes, and we met at a networking event and we got chatting because I think what we do and the way that we help our clients is quite similar because we're helping them with sharing their stories and their experiences and their knowledge. But obviously, I'm doing it through the PR side of things, and you are helping them with creating a book that they can use as an evergreen asset in their business. So tell me more about exactly how you work with clients and what you help them with.
Great question. And it's always the first question that people say, well, how can you help me?
Yeah.
What can I do? Where do I start? Where do I begin? So it is really about encouraging people to share their message and their stories. And many people do it through nonfiction books, a business book. It's a great way to promote your business and to up level, get your reputation and recognition for the work that you're doing. But also, I want to mention that many women, especially, are turning their stories and messages, business messages, into fiction
Mm.
because it is a great way to say what you want to say without being censored, without being
Yeah.
told that, oh, that's not true. How do you know that? Prove that. Show me the resource and the reference. So I'm very open to doing nonfiction and fiction, and particularly stories about trauma to triumph. And I was down here and I learned this, and I want to share this with you. And those are the big stories of today. Actually, those are the books that really sell. So I
Mm.
help people format their ideas and put them into something that will really elevate their ideas and their businesses and their thoughts. People talk a lot about becoming a thought leader. So if you are ambitious in that way, all writers have to be ambitious. I
Yeah.
go back on that one. We all have to be ambitious in business today. So it is about helping you plot and plan, get to the heart and core of that story, and start writing and
Yeah.
get through those chapters.
Yeah. And tell us more about your background because I know that you have previously had experience doing things like writing plays, spoken word performance, emceeing, script writing, um, and you've worked as a professional musician as well. Is that right?
Yeah, so I've always been in the arts. I've always been a creative person. I've never done a 9 to 5, and I'm very proud of that. But yes, I've had an eclectic background in the showbiz world or the entertainment industry, and it's taught me many different things, writing plays, writing scripts. So I have a lot of experience in different genres. And, for me, it's my motto is our voice and our pen are our two most powerful tools of communication, and they
Yeah.
are our most profitable. And writers are speakers and speakers are writers, and that's the way it is today. And you need to be efficient in both. And
Yeah, it's so true.
it
Those
helps
skills
with
are so important, I think, for any business owner, really, like you say, to be able to express themselves. How did you get into the book writing coaching world?
well, I've been holding a pencil, my favorite tool.
I love it.
How you can carry it's wonderful. Um, Ever since I was a teenager, I used to write. I love dialogue, and it was two people facing each other. And this is the formula for all books. It's love, hate, drama, conflict, action, resolution.
Mm,
Any order you like, in any quantity you like, depending on the genre of the book, the type of book. And I was fascinated by this dialogue, and it got me going writing plays and poetry, even. Stories, because it's a great way to express yourself in the short form. Some people are really good at the short form,
yeah.
and it's a wonderful way. Posts, articles, short stories. It's a great thing to practice writing poetry. It doesn't have to rhyme.
Mm,
It can be a prose style story. It's a great way to get your ideas out in a very concise way. Great training for business.
yeah. So who do you tend to work with most?
Um, Well, I've worked with women and men of all age groups because everybody has a book in them. Whether they write it or not is another thing, of course.
Yeah,
Whether they
yeah,
do the work, because it takes time and it takes energy and investment of um, your financial investment as well as physical investment.
yeah.
But you'd be surprised. I've had 35-year-olds and this one was 70 something. So you'd be surprised who can write a book. Generally speaking, in business, it's people with experience.
Yeah.
Uh, and experience is a process. It's not something you can gain with a machine, let's put it
Yeah,
politely.
yeah, yeah.
It comes with, all the mistakes and ups and downs that life throws at you, all those curveballs. How do you get through those mistakes? Turn them into your best stories, add a little humor, a spark, and you've got a good story there. Put it in your book.
So when someone comes to work with you, I feel like a lot of people are maybe put off by how much work is involved in writing a book. And it feels like it's going to be this really big thing to have to do. How do you help people to get really clear on what to include in the book, and I guess to know, like, well, what are the stories that I should be sharing and that kind of thing?
Well, first of all, I remind them how long it took them to get into business.
Yeah.
It took them some time, didn't it? So it's not, nothing happened overnight. It was work in progress, and there was all the ups and downs. And I remind them of that roller coaster ride, and it could be very similar with the book, but how exciting because of the personal and professional evolution that you go through. So it is about breaking it down into chunks, making it easy to understand, understanding clearly what are those topics and subjects that you want to express and expose. Is that really at the heart of it? Is that a subject that's going to resonate, sell, and last? Is it an evergreen topic? How many times has it been done before? Can you add your unique little touch to it and sparkle? And I think once you understand that and encapsulate that, the chapters start to flow and you enjoy it. You enjoy it for what it is. And very soon you think, I'm a writer.
I think that's really important as well, to actually enjoy the process. You want this to be something that, is going to be fun, as well as something that is going to
Yes.
be useful in your business.
Yeah,
And I guess if people like the idea of writing, even if they're not, professional writers, it's something that they can still get into and enjoy.
absolutely. Because the editor will do all that work. You
Yeah.
don't have to worry about it. You have to have a standard of writing. I'm working with somebody now who's writing a novel and it's not her first language. English is not her first language. So there is a little bit of, what's this? And word order and those English prepositions and the terrible unphonetic style of the English language,
Yeah.
So that, but you'd be surprised, the editor will do all that punctuation and word order. And um, when I work with somebody, it really is about finding that, the balance between the stories and the facts, fascinating stories, intriguing stories and fascinating facts, and finding that right blend, that works for the genre and or the idea of your book, the style of your book.
Yeah, I love that, because literally when I work with clients, those are the two things that we focus on from a PR perspective. It's always story and expertise. And
Yes.
there's going to be times where you're being interviewed and you're sharing your story, and that's the main focus. And then there's times where maybe you write a guest article and you're sharing your knowledge and your insight and your expertise. And sometimes it's going to be both of those together. But I think those are the two most valuable things that someone can share as a business owner, because those stories help to connect you to the readers and the potential clients on a deeper emotional level. And then the expertise really helps to position you as an expert in your field and an authority. And then that builds the know, like, and trust factor. So I think anywhere where you can share those things is really important as a
Yeah,
business owner.
absolutely. And it's about getting that balance, in the book. But
Yeah.
also, you will use those stories when you go on to promote the book.
Mm.
When you get the speaking gigs, people want to know, uh, They want you to expand on that story. Where did it come from?
Yeah.
How did you get that knowledge? Tell us more. Tell us the detail. And you know, that curiosity element that we have, all humans have, is part of that. We want to know, nowadays, we want to know what the writer looks like, what the
Yeah.
writer's wearing, you know, where
Yeah.
did they come from? How did they get that idea? What is their background? We are curious about that. And those are the stories you can use to promote the book, you know.
Yes. So you talk about having the book as like an evergreen book that will, what did you say, pay you back for years to come.
Yes, yes.
Um, so tell me more about that. How does that work then if you're a business owner and you have a book? Presumably that's about creating a business focused book, a book that is on your area of expertise that relates to your business.
Well, you know, once again, it is about finding what are those 10 to 15 main topics, main subjects that you speak about, that you share, that you do courses on, that you teach your clients. What are those topics? And then expanding them. You know, some people mind map them, some people know them already and they need more stories, some people need more facts. You know, once again, we're finding that balance for the writer. But it is also about bringing out your own personal experience, your wisdom,
Mm,
you know, what it is that you've learned. I think particularly with women writers, because we approach things very differently, we're often juggling many things. We have tremendous resilience and skills that are still not exposed. And so it is about bringing that out in the book, in the stories, because those are the things that sell.
yeah,
Those
yeah,
are the things that people identify with. "Oh my god, I'm like that. I've been there. I know
yeah,
what it's like." And that's what we want to bring out. So it becomes whatever genre you wanna turn the page. How did she do that? How did he do that? How
yeah,
did he get to that point, you know? So it is about creating a bit of excitement too, you know, curiosity
yeah.
and excitement.
Yeah, yeah. I think that curiosity piece, people want to know, especially when it's something that they're resonating with as well. Maybe they've gone through something similar and they want to know, like you say, like how you've done it,
Mhm.
what happened, what was the outcome of it. So in terms of once someone has their book, what are the best ways then that people can use those books as business owners once the book has been published?
Well, I think there are lots of options, and I think one of the most popular ones today is to be getting up there and speaking.
Yeah,
And you know, to get onto those stages, whether it's a podcast or an interview like this, or you know, doing videos on your YouTube channel. So I mean, social media is makes it very easy for us today, but it is also about getting out and about in those in-person events, because then people get a chance to see what you're really like, you know. Oh,
yeah.
because here, how tall am I, you know, how what are my shoes like, you know, all these silly little things that we're so used to online, you know, everything from here upwards.
Yeah,
So, you know, that creates that curiosity. So it is about being visible, getting out there, and also finding collaborators, people who are in a similar work line or complementary work like we are, for example.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, we could do a workshop together, a half-day workshop, for example. You know,
yeah,
so it's those kind of things. You've got to be visible, and you've got to be out there telling people way before halfway through writing you start. You know,
yeah,
that's when you start really, and that's what I tell all my clients. What social media platforms have you got? Where are you telling people? Are you sharing things? Are you letting people know when the book will be out? Are you telling people, oh, that's a topic I've been writing about in my book, which is coming up next year in January, whatever.
it's like seeding it into those conversations,
Yes,
letting them
absolutely.
know that it's coming.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I work with clients who have books coming out, and obviously we focus on the PR side of things. And what I love is that when you have a book, it actually often makes it easier to get PR coverage, because if you go to a journalist and say, I've written this book or I've got this book coming out, it gives you that's a natural news hook, because that in itself is newsworthy, especially for sort of local and regional press to be able to say,
Absolutely.
I've got this book coming out. And then if you're going for sort of national press opportunities and you can say, I'm a published author, I'm the author of this book on this topic, it gives them that validation and that credibility that you know what you're talking about.
Absolutely.
So I think PR works really well when you have a book coming out, because it helps you to publicize the book and sell more copies of the book, more people know about the book, and then having the book helps you to get publicity as well. So I think they both work really well.
They work very well together, and you know, and authors need that support from a professional who's got experience and the connections, because very often they do a book launch and they will have a little bit of excitement there. There will be an interview here and a radio thing there, and you'll run around for a few days, and that's when they need the support of somebody like yourself, Dina, who will continue that
Yeah.
role and keep it going, because you want it to last. You want that PR to go on for a couple of years while
Yeah.
you're writing your next book.
Yeah. And I think that's why I loved that you said about it being an evergreen thing, because it's not, so often in business, we do something, we achieve something, and then we're on to the next thing. And with something like a book, that you're going to have that forever, and you can use that for so many things when you're pitching yourself, whether it's for PR or speaking gigs or corporate gigs or whatever it is. You'll
Absolutely.
always be able to say, I'm an author and this is my book.
Yes.
And capitalizing on that and making the most of that, it's such a valuable thing to have. And I think it was interesting as well that you were saying, when you're working with clients and you're sort of saying to them, what social media channels are you on, and where are you going to be posting, and how are you going to be letting people know about it? Because, if you are doing a book, you've got to be the one as the author to tell people about it. And I always say this to clients as well. I always remember when Prince Harry's book came out, and he did so much publicity around it. And I thought to myself, if Prince Harry has to go out there and hustle and put himself out there and do all the podcasts and all the interviews, if he's having to do that, then we all have to do that if we're wanting to get our book out there. Because I think sometimes people think, oh, well, the book's done and that's it, and like people are just going to randomly find it. And it is about what you do with it afterwards, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And very few publishers do any kind of promotional or
Yeah.
marketing. Even if you go for Penguin Random, they might, that name goes before them, obviously, but
Yeah.
you have to do everything yourself.
Yeah, and I've seen that from colleagues. Like, I've got journalist friends that have had traditional publishing deals with Penguin, etc., and they don't get any PR done for them.
No, they don't get promotion.
Yeah.
The name on the book is great, but it doesn't mean anything nowadays. And
Yeah.
a lot of authors now are going for author-controlled publishing, which gives them, they become the CEO of their book, which is what a lot of people want. They want to make those decisions themselves, and that gives them a lot of, confidence and courage and kudos.
Yeah.
I did it, and I know what's in it, and I know exactly what's on page 113 2 years later. This kind of.
Yeah.
And I think that's very important. And yes, it is. It's a book that will keep selling because it's relevant today. It has that evergreen message that people will carry and want to know more about. How many books do we have on our shelves that we go back to and flick through? And because we've got little sticky things sticking out here, I have loads of them.
I love that.
Really good thing. I'm going to use that in my post tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way you promote your book. You hold your book. I used to do this all the time. I was just reading my book again, and I read through this chapter, and it's so relevant. That's kind of. You do that on a video. You do that in a network group, in your in-person events.
Yeah.
Get used to it. You've got to do it.
I like the fact that it's an actual asset that you can literally hold in your hands. And obviously you've got the ebook version, but you can have it as something that you can just hold in your hands. You can give it to people, you can send it to people. I think that's so valuable.
It's a gift and a product you can keep giving and selling.
Yes. Tell me more about the books that you've written.
Well, I started out with, when I was doing slam poetries, or poetry slams, or spoken word performances, and I entered lots of contests. And what I noticed, I was in the United States, and what I noticed that they all had pamphlets. I've got one here in the corner there from way back. And I noticed that the people with pamphlets sold, and also then I realized that the people who got the paid gigs and They were the headliners. They had books. So I
Mm.
thought, I want to do this too. So I brought out a poetry book, Words on the Wild Side.
Yeah.
And then I went on to do short stories. And then I wrote a fiction book, a nonfiction book, and I followed it up with another one. So it's, it was progress. The way I loved that short form. That
Mm.
short form was perfect for me, strong and direct and forward. It's all part of the stage thing, that I had experienced as a
Yeah.
musician and as a speaker. So it just, you've got to allow that creativity to come out, Dina. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Allow yourself to express yourself. It does take some confidence and courage, but as you do it, you get more.
Yeah. Yeah. So if someone is looking for support from you as a book coach, what's that process like? How long does it take to get a book written?
Well, everybody writes at their own pace, and that's
Yeah.
something I respect. But at the same time, I'm also aware that you can lose momentum if you take too much time to fiddle and daddle and whatever it is that people do. So it is finding that balance of, come on now, next chapter,
Yeah.
and saying, how's that going? Encouragement, because I read through the work and give advice and guidance about developmental, especially with fiction, and even with the non-fiction business books, questioning it. I play devil's advocate, which is
Yeah.
a great job to do, I must say. So it's the support, it's the accountability, it's the professional guidance and advice, because nobody who writes quality books does it on their own.
Yeah.
Nobody. Everybody
Yeah.
has support. And it's one person writes it, but it's a whole team that makes it happen. And I
Yeah.
think you have to get that into your head, because a lot of people say, oh, I can do it on my own. Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Don't call me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do
Absolutely.
need that support. You do need that. So they will submit the chapters to me and I'll go through it with them. I don't do too much editing because it's not so important to that stage. It's about getting that out there, what you want to say,
Mm.
finding the right way to say it, and playing the provocative, um, the drone. I like to call myself the drone. I'm looking at what's going on, and giving
Yeah.
that feedback so that they can improve it and add more or subtract. Whatever it is. What
Yeah.
story would illustrate that point? Those are the sort of things. You'd be
Mm.
surprised with a business book. You can chunk it down and you can really make it an easy formula, quite
Yeah.
honestly. These are the 10 topics, 15 topics. Okay, let's go. Boom, boom, boom. And you
Yeah.
can do that, in quite a short space of time. Google says that it takes 30 minutes or something to write 1,000 words. All right,
Mm.
maybe 500 words. But if you calculate all that and you do half an hour a day, even just 5 days a week, you would get 40,000 words in 8 weeks. So
It's really doable, isn't it?
get going. If you've got a different pace, if you've got research to do, if you like to ponder and wander and things like that, it will take you 12 weeks. And generally speaking, 3 months to 6 months to write it,
Yeah.
3 months to publish it. Gives you plenty of time to start promoting.
Mm. Yeah. So if someone was thinking about starting the process of writing a book, where's the best place to start? What should they do?
Contact me.
Exactly.
Come and have a conversation. Let's see if the book's got legs.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's a genre that you really like, because nowadays there's so many fusion genres. I did a masterclass the other day and I asked people what kind of book would they like to write, and this woman said cosmic horror. I'd never heard of that. I thought, gosh, what is that? So let's find out what it is that you really want to write about, and if it is a subject that's been written about a lot, what's that unique angle that you could add to it? Let's discover that.
Yeah.
Let's find out, and then we get down to the real thing is that can you dedicate the time to it? How does it
Yeah.
fit in with your
Yeah.
budget and all these kind of things? Do you realize that you have to pay for the publication, the PR? What else? Let's look at that.
Yeah, thinking about it as a whole project, really.
Yes, exactly.
Because I think it does create something so valuable in your business that you want to make sure that you're putting that time and energy and investment into it to get the best thing that you can get, because you are going to be using it for years to come.
Yeah, you've got to take it seriously, like you did with
Yeah,
your business. You know, you invested in your business to make it grow. You've been at it for X amount of years now, and you've seen what has been involved. You now have a VA, you have your team. It's the same with the book. You have to build that up. And I think that's the best way to look at it, is to compare it to the business model that you've been using and
mm,
recognize that it's just an asset.
yeah,
It will stay with you. It's your legacy beyond your life. And people will look back and go, that was a great book.
mm,
You know, you spread it, you tell other people about it, you
yeah,
inspire others with your quotes and your sentences and your unique approach.
yeah,
Because everybody does have that unique approach, and I think that's probably one of the things that I'm required to do in the work. You know, so many confidence coaches, for example, how can you bring out that special element, that unique piece of wisdom that they've
yeah.
experienced that could go in the book and make them stand out?
I think people are worried as well often that there are so many other people doing what they do, and what do I have to share that is different, and how can I compare to these other people doing it? And like you say, we all have our own unique experiences and journeys that we've been on. There's always going to be something different to say, just because of our personal experiences and the way our personalities are, and all of those little things that will make each book different, even when they are similar topics.
Yes. I worked with a woman 2, 3 years ago, and I said to her, "So what have you done in your life?" And she said, "Oh, I was a national gymnast. I was on the international team. I was the." I said, "Well, where are your awards? Why are they behind? Talk about it. Tell
Yeah,
people what you've done." Because very
yeah,
often, certain kind of people are a bit shy about it all. No,
yeah,
you can't be an author like that anymore. You have to
yeah.
share those
Or a
things.
business owner. I mean, you have to be able to talk about what you do and how you help people and what you've done and the things you've achieved.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it does feel a bit uncomfortable. And I know lots of people feel like, oh, I don't want to feel like I'm bragging or showing off.
There's a funny British thing, I think,
Yeah.
boasting, bragging, blowing trumpets and things. I mean, if you don't show your best side or your most beautiful side, nature does it all the time. Why can't we do it? So,
Yeah.
we put on a little lipstick when we come on. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. We've got to shout about what we're doing. So if people want to connect with you further, what's the best way for them to find you and connect with you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn all 5 days a week, so that they can visit me there and DM me. Also on my website, I think you have that link anyway. They can see more about the courses that I do. I do some short courses as well. I've got a creative writing group coming up next year again. So it's a great way for people to practice their writing, get back into writing,
Yeah.
a prelude to the book, perhaps.
Yeah, sometimes that's nice just to actually, like you say, enjoy the process of writing.
Yeah. And it's quite amazing. A lot of business people come on and do that creative writing because it loosens them up.
Yeah.
They can tap into their imagination and remember the wonderful stories of their childhood and their
Mm.
imagination and crazy things like that. So it's great. It's a great fun session. So I'm present on LinkedIn and my website, or just message me. I'm very available and very easy to talk to.
Yes. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been really good to find out more about how the whole process works, because, like I say, I think there is such a synergy between doing the PR stuff, doing the book stuff, and actually having both of them together is so powerful.
Yeah.
So it was really good to chat to you. Thank you so much.
It's good to know that that when people work with me, then they can go on and learn and benefit from the services that you offer. And I think that that's what's really important, that we can outsource to the best people.
Yeah, yeah. And you were saying before about collaboration, and I love collaborating with people that have those services, that are going to be really helpful for clients and like-minded people as well. So I'm very pleased that we met, and it was really good to chat to you today. And I will
thank you very much for some great questions and for the time as well. I enjoyed it very much.
Lovely. Thank you.